Durbar Square in Kathmandu, Nepal, is the central plaza of the old royal palace. There are also Durbar Squares in nearby Patan and Bhaktapur. Since Durbar means palace, the term Durbar Square refers to the royal squares where the palaces of the three old kingdoms once stood. It is also known as Hanuman Doka Palace Square, named after Hanuman, the monkey god. A red-painted stone statue of Hanuman stands to the right of the main palace entrance. This monkey god is regarded as the guardian deity of Durbar Square, where the ancient Nepalese royal palace once stood, and even today many Hindus come to worship there. The square, which houses many medieval structures, is centered around the old royal palace built during the Malla dynasty in the 17th century. It is filled with countless temples and statues that display distinctive architecture and artistic craftsmanship. At the southern end of the square stands the Kumari Gar, home to the Kumari, the living goddess, believed to be the incarnation of a virgin deity. Located in the very heart of Kathmandu, Durbar Square is a place where one can best experience Nepal's cultural essence through its elegant buildings and intricate sculptures. On my first day in Kathmandu, I headed straight to Durbar Square. After briefly browsing through souvenir stalls around the plaza, I climbed to the top of the Maju Deval Hindu temple, a tall, tiered structure at the center of the square. From there, I leisurely looked down at the lively scene below. Not long after I settled in, a young Nepali man in his early 20s approached me and sat nearby, starting a conversation in English. Later I found out he was a street artist who sold Buddhist mantra paintings. We chatted casually where I was from, how much he liked Korea, and how he knew quite a bit about it, when suddenly he pointed down toward a nearby area and told me to look. Across the square, in front of an old Hindu temple, the Mahadev Temple, another name for Shiva, two strong men were pulling a black calf by a rope tied around its neck toward a small stake. When I asked the young man what they were doing, he gestured slightly and told me to wait and see. Moments later, one of the men held the calf's head tightly against the stake, while the other raised a terrifyingly curved knife called a kukri, a traditional Nepali blade. With a single, swift motion, he struck. The calf's neck was severed in one powerful blow, and bright red blood gushed forth. It was a shocking sight. Under the blazing midday sun, right in the middle of a busy public square crowded with people. Such a ritual seemed unbelievable from the perspective of a foreigner witnessing it for the first time. What astonished me even more was the calmness of the bystanders. Passers-by walked past as if nothing unusual had happened, unfazed by the gruesome scene. Soon after, someone lifted the severed head onto a tray and carried it into the temple, while children dragged the bleeding body by its tail around the square. The men then brought out a small goat and performed the same ritual, beheading it in a single stroke. When I asked what kind of ceremony it was, the young Nepali man explained that when misfortunes or bad omens occur in Kathmandu, Hindus offer animals such as cows or goats as sacrifices to the gods. He admitted that he himself disliked these rituals because of their cruelty. After a short while, life in the square resumed its normal, bustling rhythm as if nothing had ever happened. Later, after returning to Korea, I searched for information and learned that the sacrificial ritual in front of the Bhagawati temple was similar to those performed at the Kali temple, where living animals are regularly offered as sacrifices, not merely on irregular occasions, but as a part of scheduled religious ceremonies. The Hindu ritual ceremony at Durbar Square in Nepal was a matter of cultural perception, but for a foreigner experiencing it for the first time, it was quite a shocking experience.